Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, over here at Cracking the Cryptic, we get a lot of puzzles sent to us every day by people keen to be featured on the channel, which is fabulous. We get a lot of recommendations, and it is no surprise to us when certain names pop up time and again, especially in the recommendations. And Michael Lefkowitz is one of those. I was lucky enough to meet him last year. And Michael is also known as Juggler sometimes, and his puzzles, it's basically, you see his name on a puzzle, it's a guarantee of quality. It's also a guarantee of innovation almost, which those are very hard attributes to match, to be honest. Quality is achievable and innovation is achievable. They are often not achievable together. But Michael seems to defy such strictures and achieve them every time. Anyway, we will see if that comes true today as I attempt a puzzle that has been recommended quite a number of times to us. It's called Weird Arrows. I'm looking forward to giving it a try. Don't forget, on Patreon we've got the rather marvellous Are You My Mama by the PBN Institute, Alethana, Panthera, The Asylum, and Jaleb have all contributed to that, and Clocksmith has done some fabulous drawings, and they've introduced the character of Maverick and a phrase I say sometimes. We'll see if that comes up today. Do give it a try. It's a great collection of puzzles. On Patreon we have all sorts of things. I will be attempting the very hard crossword for the month shortly, and looking forward to that as well. So that's on Patreon. We've also got all of our apps which feature Arrow Sudoku, regular Arrow Sudoku, not bulbous Arrow Sudoku. And Fog of War, the latest one. There are some super apps in the collection. Well, I mean, honestly, they all are. But there's also SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD and merchandise like this mug. Give yourself the treat of a mug that says Bobbins so you don't need to on the back. I am going to be having a look at the rules of this puzzle, which are very simple. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box in the grid. And the sum of the digits in a white bulb equals the sum of the digits on the attached arrow, or on each attached arrow. No, on the attached arrow, because I don't think any of these have more than one arrow attached. So it's a quite strange idea. Effectively, you're just looking for some equality between those 4 cells, the sum of those 4 cells and the sum of those 2, or those 3 and those 3. Yeah, interesting. I mean, the arrows are moving above the boxes of the bulbs. What are they? Yes, they are bulbs. I haven't seen one quite like this before. I like the funky shape, but give it a try on that first link under the video. I'm going to see how it plays. Let's get cracking. So what we want is disparity in terms at least of number of cells. So here we go. We've got a 5-cell bulb versus a 1-cell square. Well, we know that the 5 must include repeats. If you had 1, 2, 3, in fact, they are absolutely minimal. So the way to look at this bulb and arrow is that this arrow can only contain 1 digit. And this bulb must contain 5 digits. The top 3 must all be different from each other. The next 2 in row 2 must all be different from each other. So we've put in the minimum, and we will find that that's a 1, 2, 3 set adding up to 6, a 1, 2 set adding up to 3. 9 is the absolute minimum you can put in the bulb, and it's clearly the maximum digit you can put on the arrow. So that must be right. Now, in this group, within box 2, that's a 1, 2, 3 set as well, in which the 3 is in one of those 2 cells. So that one can't be a 3. Oh, and now we've got this arrow to look at. Oh, that's fabulous. Right. What can this arrow be doing? You could look at this group of cells and work out quickly that this digit must be the same as this digit because they have to both be different from this one. But in fact, you can look at the fact that 1, 2, and 3 have already gone in box 2. I hope you can see the cells I'm highlighting. They are a bit hidden by the bulbs in this, but that's fine, I think. Anyway, once 1, 2, 3 are gone, the most these two cells can add up to is 4 with a 2 and a 2, and that's the minimum digit we can put in there. So again, minimum and maximum has worked perfectly well. And we're left with this start to the puzzle, which, as long as you spot where you're going, that is very accessible. Now, I'm going to go over here because this 2 by 2 area has just got more difficult, much more difficult to fill. Yes, we can't put a 1 or a 2 in any of those cells because we've got a 2 there and a 1 in one of those. So those are ruled out from being 2 and 1. We've got a 1 and 2 there. In fact, that's a sort of X-wing on 1s and 2s. The 1 and 2 in row 3 must be in these cells. The point I'm making is that they can't get into this 2 by 2. Now, since these digits are all in the same box, they all have to be different, but they don't include 1 and 2. So we're minimum and maximum yet again. The minimum is 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 to put in here. That adds up to 18. The maximum on this arrow is 2 digits that can both be 9 because they don't see each other, and that's 18 as well. So in they go. This is a 3, 4, 5, 6 set. This is a very accessible puzzle so far, I'm delighted to say. And that's become a 1, 2 pair. This is a 7, 8 pair to complete the box. And, we're going to have to put a 9 somewhere down here. I was going to put it off the arrow, but it can be on the arrow. Now, let's have a look at this weird thing. Okay, basically what we're looking at here, if I highlight I'll try to highlight the bulb in yellow and the arrow in purple. This cell is both. So I'm going to eliminate that. It's a bit like very minor set theory or the law of leftovers. But now the 2 yellows have to add up to the 2 purples. I think we can do this because this purple can't be 9. The maximum it can be is 8. That purple has a maximum 2, and that's a total of 10. This yellow has an absolute minimum of 10, 9 there and 1 there. So yet again, maximum and minimum applied in a slightly different way has totally done the job. So we haven't had to do anything except, first of all, find the absolute maximum minimum for this, then for this one, then for this one, and then for this one. And that doesn't allow us to fill in this digit at all. It could be anything, and because it's eliminated from the bulb and the arrow, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's obviously going to matter that we fill it in the end, but Sudoku will have to do that for us. So, what's the next arrow? I'm getting the impression that now it's just a matter of finding the bulbs and arrows that can maximize and minimize. So let's have a look at this one. Maybe? No. I'm going to look at this first of all, because I've just noticed this arrow cannot be a 9 anymore. And yet it is adding 3 different cells. They have to be different from each other because they're all in the same column, and that's what Sudoku rules mandate. This digit, therefore the absolute minimum is 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. This digit is 6, 7 or 8. Now, since it can't be 9, one of these 3 must be a 1. You can't make up 6, 7 or 8 in 3 different cells without using a 1. But the ones we have in the grid prevent these 2 cells being a 1. So I get to fill in a 1 there. I now know this can't be a 7 because these 2 would have to be 2 and 4, and that digit can't be either of those. So it's either 6, which definitely goes 3 there, 2 there, and 1 here, or it's 8, which would either be 3, 4, 1 in that order, or 5, 2, 1. So strangely, I've learnt the parity of those 2 cells, but I may have picked the wrong. I was going to look at this bulb, and now I'm going to do that properly. What is the minimum that can go in the bulb, which is 4 cells, while its arrow is only 2? The minimum is at least a 3 in this cell. We already know you can have repeat digits in bulbs, just in case you're wondering about that. The minimum is a 3 in this, and then, well, not both 1 and 3 in this, but 1, 4, 5. You can't have both 1 and 3 in this, or that cell would be broken, row 1, column 4. So 1, 4, 5 and a 3. Now what does that add up to? 13 is the absolute minimum for this yellow bulb. So yes, that's perfect. 13 is the max. I should have come to this bulb next. 13 is the maximum for these two because they can't be 9, they can't be 8, and they can't be the same as each other. So they are 7 and 6. This does add up to 13 in exactly the way I specified, 3 and a 1, 4, 5 triple. And that is now not 1, that's 3. This is now not 6 or 7, it's 8. This one is probably no, it's not, because we don't know what this is. 2, 4, or 5, I'm going to put in there now. I thought this would be fully done, but it isn't. Now, this has all been about finding the right next move. I don't know, it looks like it gets a bit more difficult. Oh, you've got this mapping to one cell. So by Sudoku, that digit must appear in one of those. It must be 9 or 3, 4, 5 or 6. It can't be 9 because it couldn't appear there or there given that 9. So this digit is 3, 4, 5 or 6. Okay, I will look at this. I don't think this can be 2 or 3. This has to add up to, well, I was going to say at least 6, but I think this is our next maximum minimum operation because we've got 2, 1 and 3 looking at these cells. They have to be at least 4, 5. That has to be at least 1. That gives this bulb a minimum of 10, and that is the exact maximum of this arrow. So we're away again. I should have stuck to my policy very precisely. 1 there, that's not a 9. I mean, I can't bear it anymore. Now I'm going to do a bit of Sudoku. I've got a 2, 3 pair, so I eliminate 3 from this arrow, this circle and its arrow. This, baby, what's going on here? This digit can't be, I don't know, I mean, it's 2 cells and 2 cells. Oh, but this digit is at least a 6. So the minimum for the arrow is 10. In fact, this is 6 or 7, very precisely, given that it sees 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, and 9, 8. So this arrow adds up to somewhere between 10 and 12. So this bulb must also do the same. And it doesn't use 1, 8, or 3. I don't know. Maybe Sudoku, 1, 2, 3, can't be in those cells. Oh, let's just have a look at this again. 6, 7 or 9 by elimination. 1, 2, 3, these. No, I don't know. Can I rule that out from being a 10? A 2 is what I mean. And the answer is no, that would be a 9 and this would be a pair adding to 11. There's an 8 in one of those 2 cells. Oh, look at this bulb. Ah, that's massive. Right. 2 and 3 there is 5. I hadn't seen this. This must add up to 5, and it can't be a 2, 3 pair or it would break that cell. So it's a 4, 1 pair. We know the order. Better than that, we know that 9 doesn't go on this bulb. This can't be a 1, 4 pair adding up to 5, so this must be another 2, 3 pair. And that's the 9. Let's look at this column now. That can't be a 2. 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 9. This is 4, 5 or 6. This is a 4, 5, 6 triple. We've got 9, 1 there, 8 in one of those, 2 now in one of those 2. This can't be a 4 because of the 4 we wrote into box 8. It's 5 or 6. Okay, I am going to think about this final bulb. Now, this block of 6 cells must add up to an even number, because those 3, let's call them x, they add to the same as those 3. So that's 2x. Now, I'm finally going to use the secret, which is the total of every row, column and box in a Sudoku. It's 45, because that's the sum of 1 to 9. If that's even, and that adds up to 5, this is also even. Can't be 4 or 8, it must be 2 or 6. And the 5 in the column has to be in one of those cells. Now, there is more information. There's a 9 in one of those 2 cells by Sudoku. And somewhere in this group of cells there's an 8, because it can't be down here. I wonder if I can work out... Oh, let's do more Sudoku first. I've got a 4 looking at that cell. 5 there, 4 there. That makes this a 6 with 6 there. Now these can't have a 6 in. Always worth checking the Sudoku. A 4-5 deadly pattern that will be resolved by this arrow. Let's have a look along this middle row, in fact. 1, 4, 5, 9, 8. That is 3 or 7. That is 2, 6 or 7. 2, 1, 3, 5, 4. Now, where does 9 go in column 3? There's only one location. And that's quite interesting. Oh, look, I've got a 2-3 pair, so 2 can't be there. 2 is fixed in box 6. That can't be 2. Now, the difference between those 2 cells, let's just get rid of this yellow. The difference between purple and green is 1. And for these arrows and bulbs to balance, the difference between these 2 cells must be 1 as well. So this is 1 away from 4 or 5. It's 3, 4, 5 or 6, but it can't be 3 or 6. So that is 4 or 5. This can't be 2, I've only just realised, so that's a 2. Now I can complete the bulb in column 1. That's a 5. This is 4 or 5 as well. And these 2 are different from each other, which means to balance up this arrow and bulb, these 2 must be different from each other. So if I need to, I'm going to be able to colour 4s and 5s. That one is different from that one. Well, I mean, let's do it while I'm here. Oh, no, I don't need to do it. I've got a 5 there. Sorry, that's a 4, that's a 5. This is now 6, because I think these arrows have to add up to 11, not 12. Yeah, if that was a 7, these couldn't add up to 12. So that's a 6, that's a 7, that's a 4, that's a 5. Let's get rid of the colours. They weren't really necessary. Now Sudoku is coming to the 4 again. 5 and 4, that's a 3. This pair is a 7-8 pair, I think. That can't be 3. That's a 4-5 pair. This is 6, that's 3. This is just lovely. I mean, it's not difficult. It's just got a really elegant flow, exactly as you would expect. That's 7 or 8, that's 5. Okay, I probably didn't need to do all that pencil marking. Has this got resolved? No, don't think so. 6 and 8 to place in column 3, don't know. That digit is 3 or 7, given everything else it sees. 3, 1, 9, 2, 4. I don't know. 8 is in, 5 is placed in box 2 there. That's going to sort out 4 and 5. These are 6, 7 and 8. That one can't be 8. Oh, that's good. It's going to tell me that in a moment. But for now, I'm just putting 6, 7, 8 in. I've also just worked out there's only one place for 3 in this row. Now, 6, 7 pair there. maybe the way to look at this column is that there's only one place for 3 in it, and that's because we worked out the parity in this box. So that's the 3, that's the 2, and that 6-7 pair now says this is the only place for 2. Now we can do the maths over again. 45 in the box minus 7 in the given digits means 38 in this 2x3 area. That must be 19 in the bulb and 19 in the arrow bit. I don't know quite how we're going to achieve those 19s. We will find out. I can place 4 in column 2. That becomes 7 or 8. That is 7 or 9. 4, 3, 8. So this is a naked 7, given that it sees 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 in the column, 2, 9 in the row. That's a 7. This is 9. This is 2. That's going to fix the 3-2 pair. How are 3s going? Not particularly well. 1, 2, 7, 5, 4. 9 is in one of those two. Okay, I'm going to have a look here now again. We need 19 in the bulb and 19 in the arrow. That is 3, 7, or 8 by Sudoku. This one is 6, 7, or 8. So we need 19 on the arrow. How are we going to do... Oh, hang on. This bottom row is better than anything. 7, 2, 9, 1, 4, and a 6, 8 pair. This is 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spot. Light. Proving its position. So the only place for 3 in this box is known. Now, for this bulb to add up to 19, these two add up to 14. And that is 6 or 8. So the other one is also 6 or 8. So this is where 7 goes, apparently. That's a 9. And the arrow successfully adds up to 19. That fixes 8 and 7. It would do if I wrote the right numbers. Sorry. This 6 and 7 is done. I mean, it's really quite straightforward. This has not been a difficult puzzle. It's just been a nice puzzle. That's an 8. I mean, I'm not saying difficult puzzles are not nice, but some people worry that the easier level of puzzle is too easy and not fun. I just disagree 100%. There we go. That is the solution to Weird Arrows by Michael Lefkowitz. It's a very good puzzle. Oh, I left a colour in. And not too difficult. So absolutely entry-level juggler. Excellent. That's good fun. Thank you for watching, as always, on the channel. It's such a pleasure to have you with us from day to day, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.